take a look at the draft. And yeah, appreciate the love, guys. If you guys got any more questions, make sure you guys ask us in the comments. I'll stay on here too. And talk it through. But we're going live right now. The draft is getting ready to start. Superflex PPR League mock draft. We have one flex spot. I'm drafting from the 7 spot. So yeah, just tune into the Twitch. Go to YouTube. We're gonna get this thing rocking right now. All right, so we are getting this mock draft going right now. And at the 7 spot, I'm going to play out the draft. So for everybody, I know you guys are probably waiting on me to start the draft. Make sure you guys are tuning in every week, God's Cast on Tuesday nights. But we're going to get this thing started. We talk about best player available. That's what I'm looking for on this segment. Best player available. I'm going to let it run from the number 1 spot. We're going to start this draft right now. So in the meantime, if you are watching, make sure you guys follow along. You guys are following, drop comments. I'll get to the comments as best as I can. But yeah, so we're seeing Superflex. Quarterbacks are going early. And when I see quarterbacks going early, I start going with best player available. That's my strategy. So if somebody slips like Lamar, Kyler, somebody like that, I'll probably take them right now because most of the room is taking quarterbacks. Now, there's times when in Superflex leagues, you see people that don't take quarterbacks early on. That's normally the time where I'll go and I'll take a receiver or a running back because I know the quarterbacks will come back to me, especially in this middle spot. Ryan said, let's go. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it. Jonathan Taylor went next. And so Jonathan Taylor, Luke the Juke reaching a little bit there on Jonathan Taylor in a super flex league. I don't mind it. I think there's a lot of value with quarterbacks this year. So we got 14 rounds, super flex, PPR league. iQuick is on the clock. Let's see what he does here. And so at the 7 spot, I'm hoping right now, that either Lamar falls to me or one of these, elite receivers, Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, one of those guys should be there at my next pick. And I'm not really too worried about the running backs falling to me. I think that I'll be able to pick a couple up later. But right now I want to make sure I lock in the super flex league. Typically you want to lock in one top 12 quarterback, one difference maker. So, I'd be very concerned if more went here, more quarterbacks went, because then I know like Brady's not available, Trey Lance will be hard to get. I'd have to reach for him. Just really trying to, you don't want to have to start reaching for players. So Justin Jefferson just went. That was a good pick for Potter, my boy Jay Potter. I am looking at quarterback. I see Mahomes has somehow slipped here. I think that's tremendous value here with the 6th pick. I'm also looking at receivers. I really like Cooper Kupp this year, but I think I'm going to go with Pat Mahomes here because I feel like a run on quarterbacks is happening in this Superflex league. Now, you have to be able to adjust. I was in a Superflex league in the same spot, Pat Mahomes on the clock, and I took Cooper Kupp because only one quarterback had been taken. There's been 3 taken. I think others are going to take quarterbacks now. I'm adjusting and taking the best player on the board. That's Pat Mahomes right here, pick number 7.
Wow.
And so you have to be able to adjust. Every draft is different, whether people know it's super flex or not. Some people don't know if it's PPR or half PPR, and their rankings adjust differently. So just make sure you're fluid. C-Mac with the 4th pick. Ryan, I ain't mad at that pick, man. I actually ain't mad at C-Mac, man. I think he's got the upside you want. It's just, can he stay healthy? Can he stay healthy? A lot of people are concerned about Christian McCaffrey, but there was a lot of running backs injured last year. So when I look at Christian McCaffrey, he has the upside that you want. Let me take this mic out. He has the upside that you want in the draft because he can win you, literally be a league winner. He's 25 points a game when he plays. So at 25 points a game, like there's not too many people that can put up those kind of numbers. And Christian McCaffrey is definitely that kind of player. And so we're noticing there are not a lot of quarterbacks going right now. We see Joe Burrow just went, but there's still some amazing quarterbacks on the board. Like Kyler's still on the board. Very surprising. In a Superflex league, risky, high risk, high reward. And yes, I'm not mad at risk. I think risk wins. I've talked about it a lot at length. Risk wins championships. And so if you're trying to win a championship, you have to do something that's a little out of the box, that's not cookie cutter in order to win. Taking Christian McCaffrey now, he could easily be the RB1. Like Christian McCaffrey could literally be the RB1 for any league. And so if he's a difference maker, it's not just an RB1, like a couple points different. He's a 400-point player in PPR leagues if he plays an entire season. So it sucks he got auto-drafted that, but it's not too bad of a pick. One thing I haven't seen in this draft so far is somebody that's gone quarterback. I've seen that done in a lot of super flex league too. I don't really think that that's a solid strategy. When it comes to super flex leagues, I think getting one elite quarterback, like a lot of these teams are doing, and then getting somebody with a lot of upside later on is the move. So I'm typically looking like Paul's team. The back end of the draft, yeah, Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, I like that start right there. Now, I'm seeing a few running backs fall. I'm going to get one of them right here. Either Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Stephon Diggs. Those guys are all there. Austin Eckler just went. That's a very steep fall for Austin Eckler, and I think this is a very steep fall for my guy, Dalvin Cook, here in the second round. Take value when you see it. So we've got 4 receivers off the board. I said I was going to go 0 RB, but this is what happens. Sometimes you have to adjust during the draft, and I like Dalvin Cook a lot more than I like Stephon Diggs at that draft point. So to me, Dalvin Cook is a first-round talent, and I'm taking him. Load up on running back, wide receiver right now. This is a very good time to load up on receivers and on running backs because everybody's pretty much got a quarterback, and a lot of the quarterbacks that are left are mid-tier. So you got like Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Brady. Those aren't top 5 guys considered top 5 guys this year. So I agree. I like that star. I like that theory. It's kind of load up on talent time. And if you don't have a quarterback, this is the time you can maneuver around to figure out what quarterback you want. I do want to ask the comments, if you're paying attention in the comments or watching right now, what is your biggest question mark in super flex drafts? Because I get a lot of questions about going 0 RB or doing running back, multiple running back strategy. What are your guys' questions that you have about super flex leagues? Because I've seen a lot of different strategies. I've seen quarterbacks like this where 7 or 8 go off the first 2 rounds, and then there's others where the first quarterback doesn't go until the back end of the first round, or we're not seeing 3 QBs go until the 3rd round. What questions do you guys have surrounding super flex drafts? Running back run. The running back run has started. I'm glad I got Dalvin Cook because I feel like this is the run of the running backs right now. So you'll notice this in your drafts too. There's always a run on talent, like a specific positional run. So right now it's the running backs. I know for sure next round there's going to be a run on wide receivers. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. My guy Ryan said, nice start. Yes, sir. We in the game. So let me see what my guy Potter takes right now. Been a couple teams with no quarterbacks right now. Team 3, did we somehow get a bot in here? Team 3, it looks like we did. All right, so AJ Brown just went. I'm on the clock. And right now I'm looking, okay, I got a nice setup. Pat Mahomes there, Dalvin Cook. I see a couple names right here. One name for me that is slipping a little too far is Tyree Kill. I don't think he should be available here at whatever pick this is, 30. Tyree Kill is still a beast. I'm looking at him, looking at quarterbacks to left. Russ is a little too low for me on my board. It's either between Tyree Kill or Kyle Pitts at the tight end position. And I think I'm going to fade Kyle Pitts right here and take Tyree Kill instead and get the start on my receivers. So getting that elite talent here in the 3rd round is a steal in my opinion. Superflex is always funky. Young Newt, you're 100% correct. Superflex is because not everybody values quarterbacks the same way. So you see a lot of comments, people will be like, oh, this quarterback didn't get taken, or there should have been more quarterbacks taken. Not everybody values quarterbacks the same way in Superflex. So it is kind of funky because you'll see some drafts where there's nothing but quarterbacks taken in the first 3 rounds, and others like this where there's a huge run of where there's no quarterbacks taken. So good point, Young Newt. Wide receiver time. It's coming. It's coming. Almost took T. Higgins. Les is asking the best pickup for Dynasty. Let me get this off the chat so we can see. The best pickup for Dynasty, Treylon Burks, Garrett Wilson, or Kenneth Walker. And out of the 3 long-term, I think that Garrett Wilson has the best talent, but I think that Treylon Burks is in the better situation. I probably would fade Kenneth Walker in this situation. So for me, it would be Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, and then Kenneth Walker. Good question. Hopefully T makes it back around. T did not make it back around, and he definitely wouldn't have made it around to me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm usually a guy that fades QB, but at the 2, got to get one. Yeah. And that's an important point too, is when you're on these, the 1 and the 2 or the 11 and the 12 picks, you do have to be very mindful that if a run goes, you are out of position. So a lot of times in the 1-2 spot on the wraparound or the 11-12 spot, you have to be the person that starts the run. So you do have to reach a little bit at those spots, which kind of sucks. But you have to make sure you get at least one of the positions that you really want. Like if quarterback run starts at the beginning of Superflex and you miss out, that's a long ass time to go without a QB. My guy Dan is on the clock. Dan's building a nice little squad over there. Najee, Kyler Murray, T. Higgins. I ain't mad at that. There's some good starts here. With Michael Pittman. Ooh, he's building I like it. I like the start. Let's see. So who's the best available right here? Let's see. Best available coming up for me, Leonard Fournette, Zeke, Cam Akers, Kittle, Darren Waller. Quarterbacks left are still Russell Wilson, Dak, Aaron Rodgers. And Brady just went. To me, there's still a lot of quarterbacks that I like. At this 7 spot in the middle of the draft, I feel like I can wait on a quarterback. If I was at the 11 or 12 spot, I might have thought about taking Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, somebody in that type of range, just in case there was another run on QBs. Because after about Trey Lance, Derek Carr, Kirk, it starts to get a little bit more questionable. So there's about 6 QBs left that I'd feel really strongly about as my QB2. And then there's a few others that I'd be like, like the Jameses, the Tuas, the Trevor Lawrences that just have upside. You got that aren't as reliable. So just something to think about there.
Come on.
Pasta La Visa went with Deontay Johnson on the auto pick. See, so I'm staring at Leonard Fournette, Zeke. I don't think I'm going to go running back here. Also have George Kittle at the tight end position. DK Metcalf is very interesting to me right here as well. I'm going to go with DK Metcalf, I think, and sure up my number 2 receiver. A lot of concerns about DK Metcalf, but it's time. He's coming home. DK Metcalf, wide receiver 2. And a lot of people are fading DK because of the quarterback scenario. But to me, DK Metcalf is going to be just fine. He played with Geno last year, and Geno played awesome. So Geno's a starting quarterback, which I think is going to be the case. I'm not too mad at DK Metcalf's value. He maybe doesn't carry the same upside that you're looking for, but as a wide receiver 2 for your team, he's going to catch touchdowns, and he's still going to be about 1,000 to 1,200 yards. Dan's squad is nice. Yes, it is. Dan is coming up. I like Dan's squad. Akers could be a nice pick for you. I hope Ryan's joking. I was just talking about Cam Akers on the podcast and on the live stream on TikTok. If you don't follow us on TikTok and you're watching this at a later date, go follow us on TikTok. But one of those things, Cam Akers, I'm not buying Cam Akers at 5th round value because he's coming up here very soon. His ADP right now, he's pick 36 ADP right now. To me, there's no way in hell I'm taking Cam Akers at that price point. So I'm definitely not taking Cam Akers. DK is QB proof. Juke, 100% right. DK is QB proof. And I think we'll see that this year. The player I am worried about is Tyler Lockett when it comes to that team. So Zane's setting up nice. He's got the solid running back core, and he's got the stack, Jay Allen and Diggs stack. He did go with Cam Akers, who even as your running back 3, I'm not sure about Cam Akers over a guy like Ezekiel Elliott. The running back run has commenced. George Kittle, nice pick. I was looking at George Kittle for my next pick, but now I'm going to have to wait on tight end. Here comes the QB run. Not quite yet. We did not see a QB run. Just traded Lenny for Akers in Dynasty. Now, that's not a bad move. If you trade Lenny and you can get a guy like Cam Akers in Dynasty, I'm all for that because Cam Akers does carry a little bit more upside in Dynasty. Now, when it comes to Leonard Fournette, I think we see a 2-year window before he's probably completely replaced. So it's on me, and I actually haven't had a chance to draft Breece Hall yet in any of my drafts. This is the first time I would feel really comfortable with drafting Breece Hall, but I'm going to skip Breece Hall and go after a different player. I'm going to go grab my guy, Jerry Judy. I feel very good about his odds of being a top 15 receiver right now, And it looks like he's like the 20th receiver off the board. So give me Jerry Judy. It's not a popular pick. A lot of people like Cortland Sutton, and that's going to be – I've been talking about that for a minute. Me and Dan have been both kind of preaching that that's going to be one of those decisions when you look at it next season, and we're talking about Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods last year. It's going to be very similar where they both provide value, but one might be a stud. So let's be careful with that decision. Try to get both if you can. Jerry Judy or Cortland Sutton? Who do you guys think? Let me know in the comments who you guys think is going to win that matchup, Sutton or Judy? I think Jerry Judy's about to kill it, man. I bet. All right, so let me see. I'm looking at some of these teams. I like what Zane's doing. Too many running backs for me, though, with Cam Akers being that third running back. I like what Newton is doing here with Mixon, Chubb, Zeke. Need a stronger wide receiver one, in my opinion. DJ Moore is just a solid low ceiling type player. Team three is not bad. Needs a quarterback in the worst way. Excuse me. Auto pick is looking like an auto pick team with 4 running backs. Jay Kinston with Lamar Jackson and the stack right here with Mark Andrews. Then you got Waddle, Evans, and Kittle. So you went with 2 tight ends. Not sure about that in Superflex unless you were just playing hater. I'm not sure about that move in a Superflex league. My guy Potter has Russ with Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton, and DeAndre Swift. I love the setup here. This is a great setup. And you got the Wilson-Sutton stack. Cannot be mad at that. Pasta La Vista with Chase, Eckler, Pitts, Deontay Johnson, and Dak. I was riding with you till I saw Deontay. I'm not a high Deontay Johnson guy, but you got him in the 4th round, so I can't be too mad at you. This team has a lot of upside, I would say, especially if Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts hit. Cooper Kupp, Kelsey, Alvin Kamara, Brady, Lance. Paul right now, I like your team more than I like my team. I ain't going to lie. I got to see how the rest of your draft plays out, but Paul right now, you got my favorite team, bro. Kupp, Kelsey, Alvin Kamara, if he plays and doesn't get suspended, this team is a nasty-ass team. Najee, my guy Dan, Kyler, T. Higgins, Pittman, and Breece Hall got the youth on his side, so there's a lot of upside with this team too. Rooster, Joe Burrow, Devontae, David Montgomery, McLaurin, Mike Williams, and Stafford. This team isn't very exciting. This is one of those get-the-job-done teams, but it feels like a playoff team that does not win a championship. A-Rod, Jalen Hurts down here for Devin with looks like Derrick Henry and James Conner. So you got the touchdown backs, Keenan Allen and Hollywood Brown. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Hollywood Brown this early. And then you got touchdown backs, but low upside in PPR leagues. I ain't too mad at the start, depending on what your upside looks like later. I don't feel like you have very much upside with that team. I am on the clock, and now we see a couple. Let's see. I have one running back. I'm going to take another receiver in this case, and I'm going to go with a guy that I think is going to have a really good year, even as a secondary receiver, and that's Allen Robinson. I'm very high on Allen Robinson in this situation with the Rams, especially if something were ever to happen with Cooper Kupp. He's a rock-solid wide receiver, too, with the upside to be a wide receiver one on any given week. Give me Allen Robinson. Dan scooped up Breece. I think that was a hell of a move by Dan. I like Breece Hall. It's just I'm never big on picking the running backs, man, because they're either 800 yards and 6 touchdowns or they're like 1,500-yard league winners. It's close, but Judy has some elite route running ability. Indeed, he does, and I think it's a very, very close situation. You run in one more mock after this. I can run another one. I got a little bit of time. Dan thinking it's Dynasty. He went all young guys, so I ain't too mad at him. But then he got Godwin, scooped up Godwin. If Godwin comes back sooner than expected, he's going to be a steal in drafts, especially with Gronkowski out. So just keep tabs on Godwin, because if he can come back and play like week 1 or week 2 and not be on the PUP list, or even they have a new 4-week IR now, if he can avoid any of those, Godwin's going to be a steal. So we're seeing some of the quarterbacks go. Like in my thought process right now, I've addressed the receiver position. I may take another one just depending on how it goes, but I'm looking at running back, tight end, or quarterback right now. And I feel like there's a lot of teams with running back, so I may be able to wait and get the one that I want. I've seen most of the top tight ends go. And the next 4 or 5, Hawkinson, Schultz, Goddard, Gesicki, Zach Ertz, they're all very similar to me. So I probably won't be taking a tight end at my next pick. What I am looking for is upside at QB. And I'm looking at there's probably a couple left. Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, Tua, Justin Fields, Trevor Lawrence, I can get way later. Jameis, I really like. I'm not too worried about taking a second QB at this stage because 4 teams already have 2 QBs. Zane is run out of time. Let's see who they auto draft for him. Brandon Cooks. Oh, no, you must have got that pick, and that was a good pick. Brandon Cooks. But with the quarterback situation, I'm hoping here that Derek Carr somehow falls to me, or I'm probably going to wait on the running back position. I'm sorry, on the quarterback position and go for a running back. So I'm either hoping for like a Derek Carr, Clyde Edwards-Helaire to fall to me. I think Clyde has a very good chance of falling to me because the other 4 teams ahead of me have a lot of running backs. So the only teams that don't have a running back, Potter and Keniston, are drafting right before me. I'll know very quickly if I'm getting a running back. They're saying Chris Godwin could be ready by week 1. And yeah, if Chris Godwin's ready by week 1, he's a draft day steal in the 5th, 6th round where he's going right now. So very good point, Ryan. Yeah, and hopefully he is ready, man. I love watching Chris Godwin play. Zane taking all the clock on this pick. Auto drafted again. Drake London. I'm not big on Drake London this year. Receiver run went. I figured those teams with running backs went receiver. Tua went next pick. And so now I have my option. It'll either be Derek Carr or Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who I would be taking at this spot. It fell the way I thought it would. And so one of those 2 players would be there for me. I think Potter is going to be taking a running back here if I had to guess. And I don't think it'll be Clyde. A lot of people are down on Clyde this year, especially with the news that Ronald Jones is expected to be competing for those number 1 touches. I think that's just motivation for Clyde, and he'll still be the starter on that team, just personally. So best players on the board right now, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. We see Dalton Schultz still sitting around. I really like Dalton Schultz this year too. I like him even more than taking like a Darren Waller in the 4th round. So good pick. And right on cue, he was picked. I like Dalton Schultz. I think he's going to be a good value this year. So for me, I'm going to go with Clyde. I think he's a solid running back too this year. Just talked about it. I think he's going to provide a solid floor. And we saw his upside last year. A lot of people don't realize. I'm going to see if I can look player card. A lot of people don't realize about Clyde is that he was actually playing at a very high level until he got hurt last year. So last year, this was projections. This is actual stats, right? So PPR leagues, I mean, he was scoring. This is all projections. Where are his actual stats at? Anyway, he was playing at a really good level until he got hurt. And so this is his first healthy offseason. And he'll be one of those players that helps out a lot of teams in drafts, in my opinion. You see Derek Carr went, Gabe Davis and DeAndre Hopkins, good value here in the 7th round. They're talking about CEH. Yeah, CEH, man. I got a lot more love for him than a lot of people do. So last year he was a huge buy. Everybody loved him. I was kind of saying fades CEH last year. It didn't seem like his ADP was in like the 3rd, 4th round. Now you can get CEH in the 7th, 8th round. He's the last like starting running back that's really available right here besides Miles Sanders, Damian Harris, guys with a little bit less upside. So I take CEH because he has the upside. Nice pick by Devin there. I like the Zach Ertz pick too. Zach Ertz to me is really underrated as a tight end. And his impact last year, he finishes as a top 5 tight end last year when he didn't get to Arizona until midseason. Like, to me, that's crazy. So good pick there. That's Cordero Patterson there, Miles Sanders, and Devontae Smith. Had a question on the live stream today about Devontae Smith. What do you guys think about Devontae Smith? Are we fading him too hard because AJ Brown is there? To me, I feel like it's the right type of move to fade him. I know Dan just took him right now, but I'm not a big fan of Devontae Smith this season. As the number 2 in the offense, when Jalen Hurts is only going to be throwing for about 3,500 yards max. Like, I don't see him throwing more than that. So to me, I am fading Devontae Smith, and I don't think it's a good pick. Even now in this round, it feels like there's more upside plays there. I'm not a fan of the Devontae Smith move by Dan. I am a fan of the Godwin and Hopkins stack there in 6 and 7, my Lord. It is my pick, so I'm going to make this pick first, and then I'll get back to this question. I got Damian Harris left, Dallas Goedert, Kareem Hunt. And so right now I'm looking at the quarterbacks. There's a quarterback I like here. I'm just going to take him even though it's a reach. Actually, I'm not going to take him. I'm going to look for better value. And right now the better value to me is Kareem Hunt. I like getting another running back here. I've already secured my wide receivers. Feel pretty good about them. I want to get some running back depth since I avoided the position. But going back to this question on Cole Kmet, and, to me, he's a player that I'm not very excited about. Dan has been advocating for Cole Kmet pretty heavily, and he feels about average to me. I mean, if we saw a season like 700 yards and 7 touchdowns, that wouldn't surprise me at all, and I don't think he's going to outplay his value. Like, Cole Kmet doesn't scream has top 5 upside to me, and you're getting him at tight end like 13 or 12, whatever it is. I'm just not truly excited about Cole Kmet and his prospects, so to me, he's not a huge reach or a huge buy. If he fell to me and I didn't have a tight end, maybe. But right now, there's some other tight ends I take off the board way before Cole Kmet, even though he'll be Justin Fields' number 2 receiver. A couple of guys I was looking at just went: Jameis Winston, Deshaun Watson. I was deciding between those guys at QB. I'm not too mad at it. There's a couple other guys still left that I would rock with. Now I'm concerned about quarterback. Matt Ryan, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson are available. I'm probably still going to fade it right here and just take the best available player. So I'm looking, there's a lot of talent that has been falling in this draft. Treylon Burks is still there. I don't really think he has too big of an impact. Now looking at a guy like Chris Olave, James Cook with a lot of upside. Chase Claypool to me is going way too low in drafts. I'm taking Chase Claypool right here, my 5th receiver. I think Chase Claypool has an amazing year this year. Now he has a quarterback that has a little bit stronger arm that can get him the ball. We saw Ben force feeding the shit out of Deontay Johnson last year, which is a good look. But at the same time, he didn't have the arm strength to get it to Claypool. And I think we see a bounce back receiver from a physically imposing receiver. I mean, in his 3rd year, could break out. I see it happening. I like Claypool a lot this year. If you host it, it'll be on. Okay, bet. Perfect. All right. So as we go on, I'm definitely going to be getting QBs. Now I'm probably going to, instead of taking one QB and just rocking with it for the rest of my draft, I feel really good about my setup. So what I'll do is go 2 QBs here in these next 3 rounds and try to secure a backup just in case something happens. So this is that adjustment period in the draft. I was talking about taking a quarterback a little bit earlier here. Some players and talent fell more than I thought. So I'm not going to reach. I'm not going to panic and go get players just because. I'm going to look for better value here later on. I don't think these guys are going to be taking the 3rd quarterbacks anytime soon. Dan's the only one I'm really concerned about taking a quarterback, and it feels like he still needs to fill out his backup running back or a tight end. So I think he might be thinking the same thing with quarterback coming up here. I don't think he takes one here, but at the 2nd spot, I bet he does. So it would come back to me, and the quarterbacks that are available are pretty similar to me. Like nobody's really rocking with too much upside at the quarterback position. And at Superflex League, the difference between a Ryan Tannehill or a Mac Jones and a Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, Jameis Winston isn't that different to me. So I'll probably try to secure 2 of those guys here now that everybody pretty much has 2 QBs. Dan taking up all the clock. He must have forgot about the draft. Let's see who they give him. Somebody trash, I hope. Tyler Lockett, his boy. He actually loves Tyler Lockett. That's funny. So Pat Fryermuth off the board. Yeah, there's still some good tight ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tight ends off the board. So there's only 2 teams really that probably need QB or tight ends. And there's still guys that I feel confident with. So Zach Wilson going off the board along with, looks like Russell Gage over there for Devin. I'm not a big fan of Zach Wilson, but I ain't mad at it. Chris Olave and Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny is actually really good value here in the 10th round. So starting running back, who I know they drafted Kenneth Walker, and a lot of people are assuming that takeover happens sooner than later. I actually really like getting Rashad Penny this late in the draft. come around. I'm assuming this is the last draft. Yeah, I might want, you know what? I'll run one more. I'll run one more after this. I got a little bit of time, not too much time, but I'll run one more draft after this. If you guys stick around, I'll get it all filled out. So it's my pick right now, and none of the quarterbacks went that I thought would go. So of course I'm going to be looking in that range right now. Let's see who's still left. There's nobody here really that excites me. The only person I could think of is maybe Gesicki or Allen Lazard. If I was in a more Kadarius Toney too, if I was in a more competitive spot right now and I didn't have all these receivers, I probably would go there. Actually, I am going to go there. I'm still not worried about the quarterback position. I said in the next 3 rounds I'd address it. I'm going to go ahead and get my guy right now that I want to get, and that's Mike Gesicki to shore up the tight end spot. There's not a lot of tight ends left here in the draft, so I'm going to make sure that I go grab one of the top 12 guys for sure. And so, yeah, talking this out is a little different talking out your entire plan, but I still feel very confident in this strategy. I'm definitely going to be getting 2 QBs here in the next 2, maybe 3 rounds now. I might stretch it out just depending on the talent left. You guys are leaving me some good talent. And then, yeah, I feel really good about the setup. And then I'll be shoring up the running back position now that I got 5 receivers too. So if you want to hop in the draft, go ahead and get the if you guys want to go ahead and get in the next draft, I'll be posting it here in the Discord here very soon. The run on running backs has commenced. Let's see who's left for me here. So left at the QB spot, yeah, the same usual suspects are there. Let's not forget, and I think a lot of people are so quick to give up on guys. Ryan Tannehill to me is another guy that I don't mind getting later on in drafts, especially in deeper Superflex leagues, 12-team Superflex leagues, because he goes so far after your Derek Carrs and Tua Tagovailoas. For me, like Tannehill was a top 12 quarterback last year without A.J. Brown for half the year. So me, I'm going to go ahead and get Ryan Tannehill, who has the rushing upside that you want to see at the quarterback position, and lock that up. It's an easy move for me. A lot of the guys, so a lot of times, especially in these rounds, after about round 10, when I've secured my starting lineup, we preach best player available. Now is the time if you want to start addressing positions. It's okay to reach. There's not a whole lot of guys down here with just true league-winning upside. You'll see a few. But if you're looking in drafts, this is the time to reach. Like, I'll wait and see if I can get a Rachaad White later on. To me, he has league-winning upside if something happened to Fournette. But there's not a whole lot of guys down here that are going to be league winners. So go ahead and secure up your positions after the 10th round. I would say like 9th, 10th round, you can start going positional. I bet. So how are you guys feeling about these teams? Let me go through these teams really quickly. So Zane got auto draft. He's got like 6 backs. Still doesn't have receivers. Herbert, Watson here. If Watson plays, this isn't a bad setup with DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Bateman, Kadarius Toney. Some upside there. I like the running backs. This is a pretty good team. I would say would be a playoff struggle team. Would struggle to make the playoffs. This team to me, Taylor Barkley, Gibson's a good setup with the running backs here. CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Amon St. Brown, Christian Watson. I'm not really feeling the receivers. And then just Justin Fields at the quarterback position. Needed another QB. If he can get one here later on, I'd be interested to see who it was. But I would want a stronger QB1. Same thing here, stronger QB1. But McCaffrey, Javonte, Fournette, Dobbins, ain't a bad start. Debo, Thielen, Ayuk. You got some question marks at the receiver position there. Jake Henston, 22. Lamar, Tua, Jameis. I like the setup there. You got some really good upside plays. Receivers are good. Evans, Waddle, Mike Tom, Kirk, Boyd. It's not bad with Chase. Chase is your only running back, though. So you're going true zero RB, even more than me. Let's go ahead and get one more QB here. Not a lot of upside when it comes to quarterbacks, so I'm just going to get a safe option just in case something comes back around. Let's get Mac Jones, who was a solid QB2 last year. And then for this team, Potter, we got Russ and Kirk. I like both of those options, both top 12 options. With the stack, Justin Jefferson. Running backs are DeAndre Swift and Pollard, so he's probably getting a running back here if I'd assume. With Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Cortland Sutton, Elijah Moore, and Allen Lazard, it's not bad of a setup. I would have liked a little bit more upside with the wide receiver 4 and running back 2, but other than that, this looks like a good setup. I like it. During the season, this would be a tough-ass team. My team, Dalvin, Edwards, and Hunt. I like all those backs personally, so of course I'm going to like my team. Solid receivers, quarterbacks. Could have did better on my second QB, but I'm not mad just with the way the draft played out. So this is a strong team in my opinion. I've had stronger. It's not bad. Pasta La Vista, Jamar Chase, Eckler, Kyle Pitts, Deontay Johnson. This team didn't get enough receivers. Needed some receiver help later on. Got all rookies. It's not a dynasty league. Paul with Cup, Kelsey, Kamara, Brady, Lance. How did you finish this one off? Elijah Mitchell, A.J. Dillon, Stevenson, Rashad White, Valdez Scantling. Got some upside here. I like what you're doing. Not some guys that I all like, but I like what you're doing there. And then Dan went on auto draft, all running backs and receivers, no other positions. Let's see what's left. I'm going to go with Devontae Parker here, lock in another top receiver. Let me see what running backs are here real quick. Davis Price. I'm not feeling any of these backs. Let me lock in Devontae Parker, get that low-end Patriot stack, the non-wanted Patriot stack here. Nobody ever wants that one. Let's see, Roosters team. Who's Roosters team? So we got Burrow, Devontae, Demont, McLaurin, and Mike Will with Stafford. Juju, Miles Sanders. So you got Miles Sanders, Montgomery, and J-Rob. Chris Olave, Gallup, and Pickens. This ain't bad. It would need some work. I feel like you could get some running backs throughout the year, though, and would make this team a lot stronger. So I ain't mad at Roosters team, 187. And then Devin, got Ertz, Cordero, Zach Wilson, Russell Gage, Cole Kmet, and Madison. I ain't too mad at your team either, Devin. This is better than the last team you drafted. I like this team better than the last one you drafted. I ain't going to lie. So overall, there ain't too many. There isn't like a scary team that I see. I was trying to look for like one scary team. I don't really see it. This team, Kenneth's team is nasty, actually. Now you got Hines, McKissick down there too. Very solid running backs. I like this team a lot. Kenneth's team is nice. That actually played out better than I thought it was going to, except for, why did you do this here? If you'd have got a different receiver here, I think your team would have been even better. That's the only questionable thing I think you did right there. Other than that, I like that team a lot. I like Rooster's team. I like Kenneth's team. Yeah, and this draft is done. So if you guys want to do one more, let me know in the comments. We can run one more if you guys want. Definitely need to rate teams after. Team 2 to the moon. I'll rate the teams real quick. I'll do it out of 10 real quick. And then if you guys want to do another mock draft, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here for today. Let's see. I got one more pick. Let's go with running back. Let's get my guy Ty Davis Price just because. All right, so Zane's team. I'm going to rate that a 7 out of 10. I like the start, and it just kind of fell apart when he went auto. Jay Newton's team, if Watson plays it's only 6 games that he's suspended, I really like this team. I think there's a lot of upside there. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Team 3 and Team 4 auto, so I'm not going to waste my time rating those guys. Keniston, this was a solid 8, I would say. Got Gus Edwards too if Dobbins misses time, so I'll give that a team an 8 out of 10. I really like that team. Potter, you were looking solid. There was something shaky. Oh, yeah, it was Pollard and this Moore range here. Got Mark Ingram, though, so I give this team about a 7.5 out of 10. My team, I like the setup. I didn't get the QB2 I wanted. I feel like overall it's talented, though, and will be obviously to be a contender. I get this an 8 out of 10. I've done better. Pasta La Visa, you're on auto. I think this team's okay. I get his team a 7. Just all the rookies. You'd have to have one of the rookies hit in order to be contender. I don't know if that happens. Paul's team was really good. I liked Paul's team. He probably had one of the better teams until the receivers came later. Gabe Davis is your 2. Renfro is your 3. I give this team a 7.5 out of 10. I really like the start, and then it just kind of fell apart later. Dan's team, I ain't gonna rate Dan's team because he left and didn't get a second QB. Rooster probably had the best team in my opinion. I like his setup. I'm gonna give him outside of the running back position, but this feels like a team that can go get a running back later on. I'm gonna give him an 8-2. And then Devin, I like your team, the setup. Let's see who got the last pick. Jahan Dotson and Gainwell. I'll give you 7.5 on this one too, my man. So overall, pretty balanced. There was no like clear duds outside of maybe the auto draft teams, and there was no clear winners. A lot of really good teams. So yeah, man. Said I'm Jay Kinston. Yes, sir. First ever Superflex mock draft. Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Let's do another mock smooth. Let me see. Let's do another one. I wanted Lance the Kittle. It didn't pan out. Yeah, that Lance. Where did Lance go? Lance went in the 5th round. That Kittle pick, man, that was tough. Team 2 is definitely higher than a 7. Yeah, it's just my opinion on it, man. I'm actually, you know what? Let me get out of here. Let's plan another one, though. We have the Gods Cast coming on later on at 6 o'clock tonight, Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. So tune in for that. And then I'll get another mock going this week. So I'll definitely put it in the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, that's where I send out the mock draft. So make sure you're part of the Discord, and I'll tag everybody next time. I'll send an alert. So he said, you tell him on team 2. Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll do another mock draft here very soon. I'm out.